Listen to the scary story, The Woman in White, by Wilkie Collins, Level A2. Oxford Reading University.
Part 2. You will find Part 1 in the description and on our channel.
Being rude to Marion was a stupid idea. This woman will do everything to protect her sister. Tell me, how much money do you expect to get from your wife? While my wife is alive, we get some money from her property. But it's not enough, Sir Percival responded. In case of her death, I'll get £2,000. Your wife, Madame Fosco, is Laura's aunt, so she'll get quite a lot of money too. Well, that's something, Count Fosco said slowly. Anyway, money is not my only problem. I have a secret that could ruin everything. Heavy rain started. Marion got very wet, but she kept listening. Does anyone know your secret? The Count asked. Mrs. Catherick and her daughter Anne, Sir Percival replied. Anne hates me. She won't miss the chance to destroy my life. I must find her, but I can't. Well, don't worry, I'll find her, Count Fosco said, but you must describe to me what she looks like. Strangely enough, she looks almost exactly like my wife, Sir Percival said. Really? Well, that's interesting, the Count said slowly. He was silent for a moment. Then suddenly he laughed. Don't worry, my friend. I have an idea. It will solve all of our problems. Are you serious? Sir Percival exclaimed. Please tell me more. I'll tell you later. Now let's go inside. Marion returned to her bedroom. She was scared to death. She knew that she and Laura needed to leave the house as soon as possible. However, at night she had a fever. In the morning she was terribly ill. She was lying in her bed unconscious and wasn't able to talk to Laura. 9. Marion spent several days in bed. Laura looked after her. However, one morning she came to Marion's room to find it empty. Laura ran to her husband and cried, "Where is my sister?" Marion went to London with Count Fosco and his wife, he replied in a calm voice. That's impossible, Laura exclaimed. She was too sick to travel. In the morning she felt better and decided to go to Limmeridge House, Sir Percival said. That's very strange. She couldn't go without saying goodbye to me, but if she left I must follow her, Laura said. Well, you can go to London if you want. Count Fosco will meet you at the station and take you to Marion. Laura imagined Marion alone with the Count, and the thought made her scared. So she left Hampshire the next day. When Marion finally woke up, she was surprised. She didn't recognize the room she was in. Where am I? She asked herself. She got up and went out of the room. She realized that she was still in Sir Percival's house. They have moved me to another bedroom, she understood. But why? She went to Laura's bedroom, then to Sir Percival's study, then to the living room. There was not a single person anywhere. Finally, she saw a servant. Where is Laura? Where is everyone? Marion asked her. Mr. and Mrs. Glyde have gone to London, the servant replied. Madame Fosco and Count Fosco are there too. Why did they have to go there? What happened? I don't know, Miss Halcombe, the servant began sadly, but this morning we received news that Mrs. Glyde was very ill. She had a serious heart disease. Unfortunately, the doctor didn't manage to save her life. She is going to be buried next to her mother. Marion couldn't believe her ears. This can't be true, she cried, and ran out of the room. After Walter came back from his long journey, he learned about Laura's death. He decided to go to Limmeridge to visit her grave. As he was walking towards it, he was remembering his lovely time with Laura. When he came up to the grave, he got down on his knees and started crying. After a short while, Walter heard someone walking up to him. He looked up and noticed two women. As they came closer, Walter saw that one of them was Marian. The face of the other woman was covered with a veil. When she reached him, however, Walter recognized her eyes. It was Laura, standing alive right in front of him. 10. "Please, Walter, be quiet. I'll tell you everything," Marian said. Walter calmed down and prepared to listen to Marian. Then she began. "Soon after my illness, I went back to Limmeridge. Count Fosco was also there for Laura's funeral. I found his letter to Laura's uncle, Mr. Fairley. It said, 'They caught Anne Catherick and put her back in the hospital, but her health has become worse. Now she tells everyone she is your niece Laura.' I went to the hospital and found Anne there. However, when she ran up to me, I realized that it was Laura, not Anne. So I quickly made an escape plan. I went to the bank and took all of my money. Then I offered some of it to a nurse at the hospital, and she agreed to help me. We decided to lead the police in the wrong direction after Laura ran away. The nurse told them that Anne wanted to go to Hampshire, but Laura and I caught a train and went to Limmeridge instead. After the hospital, Laura looked different. She was so thin and tired that her uncle didn't recognize her. He asked her to leave Limmeridge House immediately. So Laura and I decided to return to London. But before leaving, we came here to see the grave of Laura's mother." Marian went quiet after her long speech. What an awful crime, Walter thought. Count Fosco made Anne Catherick go to his house where she died, but everyone thought she was Laura. Then he put Laura in the hospital, making others believe she was Anne. And as a result, Sir Percival and Count Fosco managed to steal all of Laura's money. 11. Sometime later, Walter moved to London. He shared his apartment with two women and told everyone they were his sisters. However, these women were actually Marian and Laura. Although Laura had no money or status anymore, Walter didn't stop loving her. He and Marian tried their best to make her feel safe and comfortable. But Laura was still unhappy. So Walter made a plan to help Laura get back her lost money in her name. Walter traveled to the small town where Anne was born. He tried to discuss Sir Percival's past with her mother, but the woman didn't want to talk to him. She only laughed at Sir Percival and said, "He is not as noble as he looks." The people of the town told Walter that Sir Percival's parents lived there too. To check this, Walter decided to go to the local church and look for evidence. A clerk led him into the old room where all the documents were kept. "Could you show me the wedding book, please?" Walter asked the man. The clerk gave Walter the book. "Why do you keep such an important document here? This room isn't safe. Someone could steal it," Walter said. "Don't worry," the clerk replied. "The local lawyer keeps a copy of this book locked up at home." Walter started searching for the date of Sir Percival's parents' wedding. After a while, he found it. The date was written at the bottom of the page and looked smaller than the rest of the entries. It seemed strange. Walter was confused. He decided to meet with the lawyer and look through his copy of the book. To Walter's surprise, there was no record of the wedding in it at all. Sir Percival's parents were never married, Walter realized. The record in the original book is fake. Sir Percival Glyde isn't a nobleman. I must go back and take that book now. But as Walter reached the church, he saw clouds of smoke rising up from it. The room with the documents was on fire. Walter ran to the door. Suddenly, he heard someone hitting it from the inside. Then there came a shout. "It's me, Sir Percival! Somebody help me!" "The lock is broken! He can't get out!" the clerk cried in fear. Walter tried to save the man, but failed. Sir Percival burned alive, trying to destroy the book. 12. When spring arrived, Walter noticed that Laura and Marion were becoming calmer and happier every day. It seemed that Laura didn't remember the terrible things that happened to her. She was growing stronger, and her incredible beauty was coming back. One day, Walter asked Marion for a private conversation. "I love Laura with all my heart. I hope you won't mind if I ask her to be my wife," he said. "My sister will be lucky to have a man like you as her husband," Marion replied, smiling. Suddenly, Laura ran into the room crying, "My dear Walter, of course I will marry you." With these words, she kissed him. A few days later, the couple got married. After the wedding, Laura and Walter were the happiest people on earth. However, Walter couldn't forget his purpose: to make Count Fosco tell everyone who Laura really was. Walter decided to talk to his friend, Professor Pesca. He left Italy for political reasons, just like Count Fosco, and could know something about him. "Don't ask me anything about this person," Professor Pesca said sharply. "This information is too dangerous." "My friend, I will do anything to help my wife. Please tell me what you know." Pesca was very nervous. Finally, he agreed to tell his story. "I am a member of a secret international society in Italy. It fights against criminals inside different governments all over Europe. Everyone who betrays the society must be killed. Count Fosco used to be its member, but now he is a spy for the government. All members of the society have a special mark on their arms. Count Fosco has one too. Here, look at it." Pesca showed Walter a small red mark on his arm. Walter thanked his friend and promised to keep his secret. Back at home, Walter wrote a note to Pesca. The note said that Count Fosca was a spy and gave his address. Walter also asked Pesca to give him a signed reply. After receiving it, he went to Count Fosco's house. The Count was packing his bags when Walter came in. "I think I know why you are leaving. It is because of the mark on your arm, isn't it?" Walter asked. "How do you know about that?" the Count replied, taking out his gun. "Before you kill me, read this, please," Walter said, smiling, and gave him Pesca's note. Count Fosco looked at Walter in horror. "What do you want?" he asked in a low voice. "Laura is my wife now. Tell everyone the truth about this poor woman. If you do that, I will allow you and Madame Fosco to leave the country." Count Fosco agreed. He wrote a letter that said this: "I had serious financial problems, and I needed Laura's money to solve them. Laura and Anne looked very similar to each other, so I invented a plan to make them change places. I met Anne and gave her a special medicine. It gave her the energy to travel to London. Then I made Laura believe that Marion was in London, so she went there too. I met Laura on the platform and gave her Anne's clothes to put on, Then I gave her some smelling salts to make her fall asleep. After that, I put her in a mental hospital under the name of Anne Catherick. The real Anne died of a heart disease. She was buried under the name of Laura Glyde. Walter took the letter to the lawyer. After that, Laura's name was removed from the grave and replaced with Anne's. Laura became the owner of Limmeridge House and lived there happily with her husband and sister. Count Fosco was found dead in Paris. No one saw the killer, but some newspapers said that he was a member of some secret organization.
You enjoy English audiobooks? Share this one with your friends who want to listen and learn English through stories. And now, check out this awesome video.